Technology is a fast-paced industry, so when something comes along that has some staying power, it's worth taking note. It takes two hands to count the amount of smartphones I've owned since my Kindle Voyage was released, and yet it's still here, in the backpack I carry every single day. As someone from the generation that grew up on the internet, having a house full of literal Kindling just isn't appealing to me. While I recognize the benefit of reading paper books, such as reduced eye strain and less distractions than something like an iPad, the physical space they take up and their lack of convenience mean I will seldom choose to ever buy one. And those two areas are where a Kindle really shines. Firstly, the display. It's hard to properly demonstrate on video, but an e-ink display really is just like reading a piece of paper. At its core, it's literally ink being moved by electricity. The Kindle Voyage I have here was one of the first devices ever to use the E-Ink Corporation's Carta HD display. It has a density of 300 pixels per inch on its 6-inch screen, and while the display size has been increased on newer Kindles, the quality really hasn't. Sure, there have been a few minor revisions to the Carta HD display, but for the most part, the latest Kindle Paperwhite you can buy today just uses a different sized version of this same panel. With an e-ink display, you get all the benefits that come from paper, like sunlight readability and reduced blue light emissions, while getting all the convenience of a digital display, and a built-in front light if you want to read at night. The size is also a big part of what's kept me using this Kindle for so long. The modern Kindles are pretty svelte, but at 6 inches, the Voyage is one of the tiniest ever made. It may not sound like much in these times of 13-inch iPads, but for me it ends up being just about perfect. It's fairly close to a pocket journal in size, and the slim profile makes carrying it in a back pocket doable, if not comfortable. Most of the time it comes along in a backpack though. One of the things you definitely won't have to worry about with a Kindle is battery life. At almost 10 years old, my Voyage still uses micro USB. And to be honest, having to pack along a non-USB-C charging cable in 2023 feels like a chore. The only reason it hasn't been a problem is because I only have to charge my Voyage, even after all these years, maybe about once a month or so. I've taken my Kindle on week-plus long trips as far north as Guelph, Ontario, and as far south as Orlando, Florida, all without a charger. Try doing that with your iPad. Modern Kindles can even support things like audiobooks, which, while not a huge selling point for me personally, is a nice touch. While an e-reader is certainly a niche device, they're fairly cheap these days, with the cheapest Kobo coming in below a Benjamin at the time of writing. If you read more than, say, maybe one ebook a year, you really owe it to yourself to get one. Because their purpose is so specialized, they're one of the few pieces of tech I've bought that doesn't benefit from frequent replacement or upgrading. The one you buy today will likely serve you well for over a decade, just as my Kindle Voyage has for me. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit like, get subscribed, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one.